Hi, it's Shannon here again. I just want to ask you a question. Do you think you have what it takes to be a landlord? It might seem a really scary thought, but when I met my husband, he actually already was a landlord. He had a house that he rented, and he had awesome tenants, and it was, his own first experience with it. It was many years later that we took some courses and thought about investing in real estate. And a lot of people, when we told them we were taking those kind of courses, they said, oh my gosh, they wouldn't want to be a landlord. They would have to deal with toilets and tenants. And I have said over the years, you can deal with toilets and tenants once in a while, or you could deal with a boss every day. Wonder what kind of choice that is. For us, it was worth checking out and trying out. And over the years, we have had trouble with toilets. There's no question. They're an interesting part of landlording. And we've had some interesting tenants too, but not that often. In the long run, most our experience has been really good. And one way that we've kind of made sure to have that happen is we provide nice, decent homes. We always, if we're able to either speak to or get to meet our tenants, sometimes we don't get to because they're far away, but even on the phone or whatever, try to explain to them that indeed this is our property and we hope and expect them to take good care of it for us, you know. However, we understand that it is their home. And I think that's really important too, is to have that communication between landlord and tenant. Um, we're not slumlords. We do want to have nice, decent places for people to live in. I was really fortunate. I was a renter for a very long time, and I was a good tenant, and I know that I was. I paid my rent on time. I was quiet. I didn't do damage, and my landlords were always sorry to see me go. And I stayed in one place 9 years, and another one, I don't know, 3 or 4. So it's not that scary once you take the leap. And the thing is, the first is very difficult. It's tough to do it. But if you compare yourself to maybe big wig landlords that own 50 apartments or even 50 houses or whatever, it can seem overwhelming. But, if you compare yourself, like I compare ourselves now to who we used to be, owning 0 rental properties. At one point, we didn't have any because we sold the property that Brian had when we got married and basically bought our own home. But, uh, you know, if you try it, take a step, compare yourself to you, and don't set your heights ridiculous high that you're going to be owning hundreds of properties. I'm always surprised when I say, oh, well, we only have, um, a few properties in Saskatchewan, and people think, oh, like they're amazed. Some people are amazed that we have one rental property. And if we say we have 2 or 3 or 4, oh my goodness, that's just overwhelmingly amazing to them. And we're in the process of buying our 6th rental property, and in Saskatchewan, and it hasn't been really all that hard. And it's taken us 7 years to get 6 properties. We didn't do it all at once, but it is doable, and it's one step at a time, one little bite at a time. And if it's of remote interest, give it a try. It's really not all as hard as you think. You have more in you than you imagine. You can do it if get some mentoring, get some counseling, get some advice from people who have done it. The problem is if you get advice from people who haven't, You're going to hear all the horror stories that they have heard or that they imagine, and you're not going to get the real scoop. So if you're thinking of embarking on something, ask somebody who's actually been down the road first. That's what we did. It helped a great deal to have people kind of hold our hand and, be able to use them as a sounding board. So hopefully that might encourage some of you to take that leap of faith. And if not landlording, some other kind of business. But, look around and see who's doing something that you might be interested in doing, and listen to what they have to say. So that's my little tip for today on real estate and stepping out and trying something new. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you again soon.